Not every safari is about chasing the big five. Some are about color, some are about silence, and some are about surprises. Welcome to Lake Nakuru National Park, one of Kenya's most underrated wildlife experiences. Lake Nakuru is special because it actually is a part of the start to anybody's Kenya's itinerary. Let's talk about what is Lake Nakuru. Located in the Great Rift Valley, just a few hours from Nairobi, a perfect getaway. It's a compact, scenic, and an incredibly diverse ecosystem. At its heart lies a shallow, turquoise lake, historically famous for attracting massive flocks of flamingo. In fact, some of them sometimes are numbering even in the millions. At its peak, the lake's edge transforms into stunning pink shoreline, a natural phenomena that feels almost unreal. But Nakuru isn't just about flamingos. It's a park that quietly delivers one of the most complete safari experiences in East Africa. Except the elephant, it has all of the four of the big five and very good sightings of each and every four of the big five. First and foremost, it's a sanctuary, one of the best places in Africa to see both the African and the black and the white rhino. And of course, roaming in a freely protected environment. You get you get groups of close to 4 or 5 individuals in rhinos, both black and white. Lions are very commonly seen, and interestingly, they have developed a very rare behavior of climbing trees, sometimes only seen in a few places in Africa. And you just don't spot wildlife here, you actually experience it up and close. Leopards are present too, though more elusive, often hidden within the acacia woodlands. And beyond predators, you have a large base of plains game that you call it, giraffe, the Rothschild giraffe, many zebras, wildebeest, impala, gazelle, and of course a lot of other animals like hyenas. And the bird life is something that you really need to pay attention to. I'll go to come back to that in a bit. But sightings here are very natural, very effortless. And when I tell you that this place is just about a couple of hours away from Nairobi, it just tells you the kind of conservation that happens around Nairobi and how seriously the Kenya Wildlife Service actually takes their conservation efforts in trying to maintain an oasis just about a couple of hours drive from a city like Nairobi. Let's talk about the flamingos and the bird life. As I said, Lake Nakuru's identity has long been tied up to flamingos. While their numbers fluctuate depending on the water levels and conditions, the sight of thousands of flamingos feeding together along the lake remains unforgettable, and it's a real sight for photographers. The movement, the sound, the color, it creates a sensory experience that goes beyond typical safaris. But even beyond flamingos, Nakuru is a bird lover's paradise. On record, there are more than 400 species of birds, several raptors. Also, you'll find pelicans gliding over the water, the same water edges that are shared by the flamingos, storks wading along the shoreline, fish eagles, including martial eagles and tawny eagles, all together in the acacia woodlands. In fact, at times it feels that the sky itself is a part of the safari. You will have so many birds around you, landscapes and scenery. What truly sets Nakuru apart is how visually dynamic it is. With a relatively small area, you experience a mix of landscapes that are constantly shifting. Open grasslands blend into dense acacia forests, open rocky escarpments rise in the distance, and then suddenly you find yourself overlooking the entire lake from above. There are several picnic spots and waterfall spots along the sanctuary, which I totally recommend. And one of the most iconic of this is called Baboon Cliff, offering a panoramic view that captures the scale and beauty of the park. Of course, as I mentioned about falls, there is a Makalia Falls, a hidden gem that adds an unexpected touch of greenery and movement to the terrain. A picnic spot of its likes, several of places in Nakuru even offer land for camping. And of course, you have every game here which feels different, not because you are covering distance, but because the landscape keeps evolving around you. So as I now mentioned about the game, the birds and the landscapes, let's actually talk about the safari experience. One of the most accessible parts in Kenya, roads are good, distances are short and wildlife density is high. And that's why it should be high on your priority list. This makes it ideal for first-time safari travelers, and it really sets the tone when you're looking for other bigger game parks in Kenya like the Masai Mara. This is a rewarding experience without too many long 2 hours of driving. Not only that, but even for seasoned safari goers, Nakuru offers something different each time. I have been to Nakuru several times and I've come back rewarded with a lot of different kinds of sightings each time. Once I've seen rhino sparring, once I've seen a fish eagle, once I've seen many flamingos, lions, leopard, everything. And the best part is you're not just chasing these sightings or racing against time. Instead, the park really invites you to slow down. Obviously, more closely and observe animals in their natural habitat, which is actually very rare because you have animals up and close. In fact, it allows you to appreciate smaller details that often go missed when you are in a high adrenaline safari like a Masai Mara. Then let's talk about where to stay. Lake Nakuru offers a range of accommodation options. It caters to different styles of travel, from comfortable safari lodges to more premium boutique properties. Many of them are positioned to offer you stunning views of the lake. And in fact, some of them are inside the reserve as well. One of the most beautiful being a resort called Cliff. There is Sopa Lodges. There's also a lot of places like Sarova Lion Hill, which are inside the reserve, and there are quite a few outside as well. Some of the ones that we recommend or we stay is a place called Soisambu Conservancy, which is a 20-minute drive from Nakuru, a private conservancy, where I usually stay in a camp called Boya. But any of these camps, you're imagining waking up early in the morning and stepping into your balcony, you're seeing wildlife active already in the distance. Some of them offer stunning views of the lake, while some of them offer stunning views of the wilderness around. But the point is, it's these quiet, immersive moments that define Nakuru experience. And these should never be missed if you are experiencing something in Nakuru. Net, I think I just want to leave you with this, that Lake Nakuru isn't about scale. It's not about the checklist of sightings. It's about connection. It's about a proper startup. It's about a proper build-up to a safari experience in other parts of Kenya like Masai Mara. But it's also about being close and truly observing animals to take them in details and to experience the wild at a very personal level. If the Masai Mara is about drama and vastness, then Lake Nakuru is about intimacy and balance. And sometimes that's exactly what makes a safari unforgettable. Now, if you have any questions on Nakuru, please drop me a comment. But I think if you're planning a Kenya safari and want to experience places like Lake Nakuru the right way, consider it with experts who understand wildlife beyond the just checklist approach of sightings. Do write in your comment, please subscribe and like and share, and we'll be happy to answer your comments on anything on Nakuru in this video. Thank you very much. Take care. Have a nice day.